All right, let's talk about using your telematics system to get your IFTA and IRP reporting. So we're going to get a state miles report. We're going to talk about how to get it. My name is Flint Holbrook. I'm the president and founder of TruckSpy. You probably, as a trucking company, need to file IFTA, and you probably need to file IRP every year to get your base plates. So you most likely have a telematics system. That might be a major provider like Omnitrax, People's Net, you name the provider. Those guys are, and we're the same way, we're a full suite telematics provider, so we also have hardware, works largely the same way with a few differences, and we're going to talk about it. So your trucks are out driving around, you've got the ELD installed, whatever provider it is. That ELD is sending up GPS breadcrumbs on that truck. So ours sends a packet every 60 seconds. Yours may send it every 10 minutes. It just depends on your provider. And what that packet is it's a GPS location, it's an odometer reading, and probably some more engine parameters that don't really matter for our conversation on IFTA and IRP. So you're getting these breadcrumbs. Your telematics provider probably is capable of summarizing those into the miles that you've run per state. They probably don't give you a whole lot of detail on the miles that your state miles, what you're running in every state. They probably just give you like a big fleet total or maybe a total by truck. And you need to kind of understand how that gets generated. So we don't have a constant data stream coming from that truck. It's these little snapshots. So you've actually got to do some math in between to figure out distance and when did the truck cross a state boundary, and kind of all these things to get to the state miles. So there are some challenges here, and even though a lot of telematics systems just do this off the shelf, one of the biggest challenges is you actually need an audit trail. And a lot of systems, you just open it up and say, give me the state miles, it gives you the state miles. And you really can't drill down any further than that. You really need to be able to drill down further than that. Like you need to know, you gotta have confidence in those numbers, right? So if you get an IFTA audit, it's not gonna be good enough just to send them the state mile summary and this is all I've got. Or to send them a massive file of GPS breadcrumbs. I mean, you can do that. It's also not a very good solution. So you kind of need a report in between. So check out our video below on the IVMR, the individual vehicle mileage report. This is really the audit trail and the building block for the state miles. And our system is capable of generating that. That's a standard output for us. And although you can go grab a state miles report from our software, you can also really drill down to figure out exactly how it got calculated, which is huge if you ever get audited. So let's talk about the challenges with reporting miles from your telematics system. First of all, that ELD, that GPS receiver, it has to be working, right? Like if that thing is not communicating every 60 seconds or every 10 minutes or whatever it is up to the server, its position and its odometer reading, you're not getting the state miles, pure and simple. And so what I've seen in the market is a lot of providers don't do a very good job at telling you when those devices aren't working. And so you can get to the end of the quarter, you can download your miles, and your miles are actually really light. They're not accurate because that GPS device was not working properly throughout the quarter. And they really don't provide you any error checking mechanism to say, hey, truck number 4, whatever the truck number is, actually didn't report miles for the entire month of March, right? So they don't really give you that. And it's pretty challenging to have complete confidence in that data. So I want to talk about just a little bit of a different approach that we take. The first thing is our devices. So we don't just trust one device. If you're using our entire system, you have a black box under the dash, you've got a drive camera installed, and you've got a tablet on the dashboard. So we actually have 3 different pieces of hardware that are communicating with GPS satellites and getting updates. And that's absolutely 100% by design because look, devices as good as they are, and ours are pretty darn good, they from time to time fail for whatever reason. They can't see the sky, the black box slips down under the heater, motor, whatever the situation is. We found through experience that we want a triple fail-safe on getting GPS breadcrumbs off the truck. So what that means is that because we have 3 antennas, 2 of those can fail and we're still tracking your miles and you're gonna get accurate reporting. The second big difference here is that we actually give you the ability to see how this data is generated. So again, I talked about the IVMR. So every one of those GPS points gets put on this individual vehicle mileage report. And so you can see exactly your odometer readings when you cross a state border and how many miles that truck ran on each leg of the trip in each state, all the way through time. And so all we do is sum all that up to make the state miles report. So having that audit trail is critically important. The third thing that we do that's a little bit different is we're very proactively, our software is proactively monitoring that GPS data that's inbound from all the devices. And we're checking for all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. Like really easy example, and we just covered it. For some reason, we don't have any data for the month of March. And the truck reported, let's say the 1st of March, and it had some odometer reading, and it comes back online the 1st of April with a different odometer reading. Well, we're going to throw an error, and we're going to send you an email and say, hey, there's like 13,000 miles in this month that are unaccounted for. Like, we need your help as the user. We want to give you accurate reporting. We need your help to figure out what this truck did. Another easy example is maybe your truck's in Dallas, and there's some bad data that comes in, and 2 minutes later, it's in California. We all know that that's not possible. So we're going to flag that data. We're going to send you an email and say, hey, you got some bad data here that's going to impact your mileage reporting. You need to take some action on it. So at TruckSpy, look, this is how our company started. We started doing only mileage reporting, specifically for FedEx contractors. And so FedEx was vetting all the reports that we're generating, and they just absolutely have to be accurate. So we got a lot of experience in validating GPS data and being sure that our reporting is actually correct. So this is just some tips and tricks and things to watch out for, I guess is the best way to say it. If you're just using the raw telematics data to generate your IFTA and IRP reporting.